Alright guys, welcome back. We got another month, another event quest, and 6 more bosses to show you what I did. So the first one is this Phoenix that I think Kushala will work. Wiccan worked extremely well. The problem is you gotta not let the Phoenix get a single buff the entire time to make the fight easy. So you're going to start with Wiccan, light ending combo, get the neutralize, and then you're not going to have to worry about her furies, the fury from the nodes. Just keep that neutralize up. There I go with the heavy. Now I'm going to go, I think, with a medium ender. Or no, I went with a light ender into a special one. Then you could go with a medium ender to get the incinerate and pause the neutralize. But really, as long as those are up, you're not going to have to worry about anything else of the node. It'll be very simple. But if not, you're going to end up dealing with a cycle of unblockables and unstoppables because of the furies, and which trigger... one triggers the other. So really a neutralized champion, probably like a Rintra, also would work really well to help with this fight. So that's the first one down. Next up is a Cable, has some annoying power gain. We are going to do this one with Viv Vision, but and just kind of focus on watching that power gain. It is a little bit annoying on this node here, but I'm going to go with get my heal blocks up. He does get some increased prowess and that power gain, so I am going to try and let him throw some specials here. Viv has some power control there with the phasing on the, when you can phase, you siphon off some power, but we're just going to play this one slow, get off our special 2. You can see that power gain is active again, so we're just going to go ahead and wait. Let him throw that special. Same thing again, going to back off, let him throw the special 1, and now I can go ahead. One more, get that special 2 off, and then I can throw my unblockable special 1s that aren't going to give any power. And we nuke him down. So, usual stuff with Viv for Cable. Next up, we've got a beast here, and I end up going with Shield for this fight. You don't really want to stun him here. There's red lining, so you have to be careful. You got to be dumping your specials. The bullet time, if you parry, it's going to evade the next attack. So you don't really want to parry. You want to more take it on the block. The only problem with the block is it gives some extra power gain. So it really, ideally, you want to be intercepting here. But here, once we get into a groove of getting to... getting him over a bar of power, baiting some specials, it's beast. We barely ever see this guy in the game because I don't know anyone who is intentionally ranking up or playing beast on a daily basis. I kind of forget he's in the game. There's also the... every time he throws a special, he's going to put that evade and unstoppable. So the grit from Shield's special 1 will help me just deal with that the entire time. You could use someone that has, a neutralize or anything that, or a stagger, anything to get rid of those debuffs. I just kind of went with, you can also put on a slow. But here, I just kind of went with the grit to deal with the unstoppable, and then just be careful if the evades trigger. But nothing else too crazy here. Could have been a little bit cleaner, but this is what I ended up trying out, and this is what I used. I haven't really done too much more of the event quest. I will blitz through it at some point so I can get the gauntlet done as well. But, get that Paragon Gauntlet out of the way, get that, refined XP. But for now, nothing too crazy here. This is how I got through these initial fights. And I'll still have to figure out exactly what I want to do for the gauntlet. I could probably do this one, with lots of different champs. But that's what I did. Used Shield, went really well. Next up, we've got a... Warlock here. I did end up throwing Deathless King Groot on here because they're of the electric defense that he can power burn you, and I went with a power burn immune champion, so worked out really well. Kind of like a similar node that I used to see in Alliance War. But yeah, Deathless King Groot just build up to a special 2, drop it on him, worked really well. On a side note, since I mentioned Alliance War, I'm not going to be doing high tier Alliance War this season. I am taking a break from that. I'm in a lower tier. If you would still like to see lower tier Alliance War videos, always let me know in the comments. But if I'm not doing the high tier stuff, I feel like you know, I don't want to confuse anyone by making anything look a lot easier than it should be, because the lower tier ones don't have all the same nodes. So I don't, if I'm not doing the higher tier stuff, like tier 2, tier 1, I don't really want to be, you know, confusing too many people who are looking up information for high tier war advice. But I am doing some wars, just on the, you know, easier end. All right, next up is our first of the 2 new bosses. We got Jean Grey here, who does have some delirium that puts the reverse controls on, and has a whole bunch of like cleanse charges on the nodes. I go in with Viv. I never looked at Jean Grey. I hadn't played a single attempt here, but just figure it's a mutant champion. I'll be fine with Viv. I go into my usual you know, routine here, try and get those get the passive heal blocks on, get my you know, just build up to a special 2. That's all I'm focused on here. I realize I've got inverted controls, so I'm playing with the inverted controls when I see that delirium, which is that red node, like red buff or passive buff on the top left. When it pops up there, she throws a special here. I'm just going to block the whole thing and then attack in afterwards, because I didn't really know what I could or could not do. I didn't know how the special works, if I can evade it or not. So now I did my special 1, my special 2. Now I can get my unblockable special 1s, and we're just going to nuke down Jean Grey with Viv, and ended up going extremely well here. So I couldn't get her down completely, so we're just going to throw a striker and a heavy to finish the fight. So worked out really well with Viv. And last but not least, we've got Bastion. Also hadn't looked at his kit, hadn't looked at anything. He does has these nodes cross counter heavy hands. So when the defender throws a special, you got to knock him down with a heavy. When you knock him down with a heavy, then you got to use a special. So I'm just going to hold my special and just get as much damage in as I can here with Angela. That was my plan here. Going to go in with Angela, get as much, hold my special until he uses his. So I think I end up pushing him to almost 2 bars of power. Let him throw that special 1. Had no clue how it was. You can see I did get hit. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop a heavy. And now that I drop a heavy, I got to throw a special. So that's what I end up doing. And my rank 3 Angela absolutely shreds Bastion here. So that's what I did. Hopefully it helps. Let me know in the comments down below who you used for these fights. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.